Hello everyone. Hope you're all doing really well. And if you're not, hopefully this video cheers you up. So finally, I'm getting around to doing the story time of when we went to Cuba, so Cayo Santa Maria. So let's recap. It was 2023, so December of 2023, and we were 6 people traveling. And the thing was that, like, it already started off bad when we were 2 hours delayed. I mean, we can deal with that. But the thing is, like, when your flight's delayed, like, you pretty much lose vacation time, right? So there's that. And then we ended up getting to Cuba finally. And we're all Salvadorian except for my cousin's hubby, who is Filipino. But he's getting there. He's turning really Latino. But anyways, so when we get there, it wasn't just us. It was a group of people, but their luggage got lost. So literally, like, we're waiting for the little baggage claim, and we're waiting for it to come around, but it wasn't showing up. So literally, at that point, when, like, everybody had collected their luggage and we're still waiting, I already knew it because I went through it. So I said, they probably lost it, so let's just go, like, fill out the claims, and then they'll have to, like, let us know, like, when they're gonna drop it off. And so my cousin's hubby was like, mierda. So he was like, and then we were like, like, don't worry about it. Like, so my brother, he, like, is usually the one that, like, likes to do that. So he went went to the office, filled out all the paperwork, and then we hopped on the bus. So we hop on the bus, and like, there was a group of us, like I said. So the people on the bus were angry, but, like, it's not our fault. Hello, like, relax. So they were angry, but, like, there was a large group of us. I'm not even, like, exaggerating. It was probably like 6 people that they had lost luggages for. So we ended up getting to our hotel at about, like, 1 a.m. So keep that in mind. It was 1 a.m. and it was a couple of families before us, and then, like, we were gonna check in. Again, we're 6 people. So once we finally, like, got to get, like, the receptionist to handle our situation, literally she's like, oh, so, like, you and your brother are in one room. And I was like, no, excuse me, what? And then that was number one. And then literally, editing Raisa, I just want to clarify why I was pissed, because I don't actually say it in the video, but the receptionist actually told us that she assumed that my brother and I were husband and wife. So it was that moment I was like, oh, like, I'm gonna have to sleep on the floor, because most likely they gave us one bed, right? And lo and behold, they gave us one king size bed. So the whole time I'm like, I'm gonna have to sleep on the floor. And it was right then and there, we were like, can you bring another bed into the room? And it's funny because I've traveled with my dad and my aunt before. There's videos on here, and they've always given us 2 beds, like, I don't or 3 beds. So I don't understand why. And I have to say, the receptionist was so difficult to work with. But anyways, that's besides the point. Um, let's get back to, they're like, how my mom and my aunt, they were going to be sharing a room, and then obviously my cousin and her husband. So my mom and my aunt, they placed them in a different building, and we were like, why would you put them in a different building when we're part of one group? Like, it doesn't make sense. And it turns out that it was, like, an old people building, because, like, all of the people that were staying at that building were older. And so, like, we kept just making fun of them, that, oh, they stuck you in the old people building. But we were like, no, like, we all need to be in the same building and on the same floor. Like, we're not gonna be, like, looking for this person, that person. Like, I don't like doing, I don't know, maybe it's my OCD, but I don't like doing that kind of stuff. Like it literally, like, I don't know, it just makes more sense to be in the same building and on the same floor so that like you guys can coordinate with each other and like know where each other, where everyone is at a given time. Because you have to plan out like when you're going out, when you're going to dinner, like all of these things. You guys get it. Like it makes sense, right? So we're stuck with that. Like me and my brother are in one room, my mom and my aunt in another room, and then my cousin and her husband in another room. Okay? Everything is fine up until then. So we finally get to our rooms. When I get to my room, as you can see in the video, a king size bed. Like, really? So I was pissed off at that, like, right away. And then literally the safe in our room didn't work. They pretty much in any of the rooms it didn't work. So what we ended up having to do was stick all of our personal belongings, like passports, money, and all of that. We would stick it in my mom's room. That's why in the video, like, you'll see that I was like back and forth in my mom's room because I was the person that like knew the code for the safe, and like I was literally like taking care of everybody's like paperwork and stuff. Like if you needed money, like I would be the one to go and like organize that for you. Don't you love people that organize things on vacation? Anyways, me and my brother. So basically, we stayed that way. I mean, we're not the kind of people to complain, but we stayed that way. Like only one of the safes got fixed. It just worked out that way. But anyways, I literally, oh, I'm forgetting the part that literally like had us up until like 3 a.m., like 4 a.m. because they kept messing up with our key cards. So my cousin's room, like her key card just wasn't working. Like they kept having to go back to the lobby, come back, go back, come back. Like they just were messing everything up. And so basically, like the first night, like we just had to figure out how to sleep because it was just like such a stupid situation like to have. And so I literally had to complain about it because I said, I'm like, listen, the last time I slept in the same bed with my brother was when I was like 5 years old. Like it's not happening. The fact that you guys assumed that we were husband and wife, like, but like, you know, we came and we, you know, told you like we're not husband and wife. Like you should have accommodated us with like a proper room, like 2 beds, right? Like anyways, that became just a whole deal. And the whole deal about it was that basically I had to be fighting for a bed the whole time. The whole time. Like they would bring me like an extra bed. It was like a spring bed or something like that. Guys, guys, they kept taking the bed out of my room. They did it like on 2 occasions because they had other guests in the hotel that were like 3 people. And like, I was just like, that's not my problem. Like, you guys got me a bed, leave it in my room. Like, you know that I'm not checking out until a certain day. Like, you're not supposed to be taking my bed out of the room. Like, it just didn't make sense at all. Anyways, going back. I just want to say quickly, thank you to Hyla. She was the receptionist that we complained to, we spoke with, and she was the only person that figured everything out for us. So thank you to Hyla. Back to like, and this is what the part that like angered me the most, because we would spend most of our time at this one certain pool, and behind the pool was a building, and literally the curtains were open and you can see in the room, and there was like it was mattresses on mattresses on mattresses just stacked up to the ceiling. And I'm like, these people are saying that they don't have beds, but like I'm literally looking at this room that has like mattresses stacked to the high heavens. Like I don't get it. Anyways, so that was like the whole problem with the rooms. The food situation, that was another thing. Like, this is a Spanglish channel, so I'm just gonna say like how it was, because terminé en salchichada. Like everything was pork. I personally do not eat pork, but everything was pork. Like I literally was eating like hot dogs. They were undercooked. The bacon was undercooked. Like the fish was undercooked. Like everything was just so undercooked. They ran out of eggs like 3 days in. And I'm saying 3 days in, counting the day that we missed. So 3 days in, they ran out of eggs. The juice situation, like literally I would be running to like the juice station, and at every other hotel that I've been to, they've always had like delicious juice, like fresh delicious juice. And this one, like you would look at it and like it would look amazing. As soon as you took a sip of it, it was watered down. I don't know how they maintained the color, to be quite honest with you. I don't know how it looked like untouched, because it looked untouched, like a freshly squeezed mango juice, a freshly squeezed guava juice, a freshly squeezed orange juice, but it tasted like water. Like it was just so bizarre, bizarre, bizarre. So I literally couldn't, like at the end of it, there's a reason I'm about to tell you what it was, but there was a reason why like I was very limited on everything that I ate. At the end, I was eating ice cream and jello and bread sometimes, because that was like the first thing to run out was the bread. And my aunt really loved the bread there, because I guess it's like authentic bread, like trigo wheat, like it's like unprocessed wheat, like it's delicious. But anyways, other people were like, oh, it's so dry, and it's like, I guess, I don't know, maybe it's a Latino thing, like we just love that kind of bread, if you know what I'm talking about. Like if you've been to Cuba, that's just the kind of bread that like we're used, like not exactly that bread, but like it's the taste. It's not like so much like the fluffiness of it, or how it feels, how it's made. Like it's just the taste of it. I don't know, I can't describe it to you. Like if you're Latino, you just know. I was pregnant when I went, and I hadn't told anyone because my plan was to reveal it at the vacation. I was 2 months pregnant, and basically food aversions. I was having the worst food aversions of life. And again, I don't eat pork, so that's why it like terminé en salchichada. Like what that means is I literally like had aversions to everything at the end of it. I couldn't eat any kind of, or look at any kind of meats, because disgusting. Like it all just disgusted me. And like fruits and everything, I would literally like run out of the eating area, and I would go and like, sign into the Wi-Fi and like Google everything. And the reason why is because there's certain like veggies or fruits that you can't eat when you're pregnant, because it could cause you to have contractions. Certain things, foods like veggies and fruits that are bad when you're pregnant. So I would literally be Googling everything, because I was taking care of my pregnancy like I was God. Anyways, so going back to the story, I wanted to reveal it at this resort, like at this on this vacation, but I just didn't. I just didn't feel like the right time. I revealed it later on, but that was the reason why like I couldn't eat anything. And because literally everybody, like the first few days, like everything was good. And then as the days went on, it was just the same food, the same food, the same food, the same food, the same food. And it like just lowered in quality as the days went on as well. So we were just like, are they just like reheating everything that like we ate the first day? Like it just didn't make sense. But the food was not it this time. And I've been to Cuba 6 times, so there was always options. Like we Latinos, we eat rice and beans. Arroz con frijoles, our plato de cada día. Like they didn't have that. So when we went on this excursion, by the way, that excursion was so good. Our tour guide, I forgot his name. But if you get this tour guide, he is specifically the Spanish German tour guide. So if you get a group of Germans on your tour, hopefully you get this tour guide. Shout out to him. He was funny, he was engaging, he was so nice, he was very talkative. We had such a good time with him. Very informative. Um, he just was like a pleasant person to be with the whole time. Like it's like an 8-hour excursion. You go to like 3 cities, you go to the Che Guevara monument, like if the weather is good, because apparently if it's raining, if it's too humid, they close it down. You cannot go in. So we got lucky that day because it was raining, but apparently the temperature, like the environment was proper for them to have it open. So again, if you get him, you can see him in the video. Amazing. What was I gonna say? So during this excursion, we just kept asking, like, where can we get fruit? Where can we get veggies? Like, because we just wanted to buy it, to be quite honest. We just wanted to buy it at a market. And turns out that in Cuba, you, like, in the city centers, you will not find a market. You have to go to, like, the outskirts of the city in order to go to the markets, which to us was, like, bizarre. Like, it just we like I can't explain it. Like it's just so unheard of, like to have a city without like the market being in the city. Who knows? But and then it was also explained to us that because my brother had made a friend, he was like talking to one of the guys that was working there, and basically he was like, you know, like, hey, like, how come you guys don't have like, you know, like little pop-up like food stands or stuff like that in Cuba? And the guy was like, you know, it's because the state takes 50% of every profit that you make, so for them it just doesn't make sense to, which I guess valid. But it just sucks for the tourists because I mean that's like one of the best things to fly abroad, you know, to go abroad. You just stop on the side of the road and you get yourself like local eats. You can't find that in Cuba, unfortunately, and it's just because of that's the situation there. But there was one of the cities, Remedios, I believe it was Remedios, where like we were like in search, I'm telling you, like in search of food, to the point that like there was like these markets and you can hear it in like the last video, the last part of the video, part 5, where literally my brother's like, oh, mira chorizos. And so literally I'm like, chorizo? I'm like, where's the chorizo? And like, I kid you not, it was like, let me paint it for you. It was like, you know, running, you know that scene running through the desert and you see the mirage with the 2 palm trees and like the little pond in the middle? That was it. Okay, we started like running to like this little stand that we thought had chorizos. like like I said, we thought, you know what it was? It was huaraches, sandals, like leather sandals. I'm so embarrassed. But we ran to the stand and we were like, chorizo! And we were like, ¿qué? And we were like, oh, like we literally thought these were like hanging chorizos. They weren't. They were just leather sandals or like leather like goods, like little purses and stuff. Oh my god! But I'm telling you, we were just like, our food. We want food. But yeah, we ended up having drinks at one of the places there. So like our experience in Cuba was amazing. It was so good. Like I loved it. I always love going to Cuba, but like this time just wasn't it. It wasn't it. But going back to the friend that my brother made, it was so funny because in the end we ended up giving like stuff away, mostly like my mom and my aunt, and then my brother, like he was trying to give away some sandals. because he was talking to his friend Salvador. Um, he was talking to his friend, and the whole time, I don't know how my brother, like, it just escaped his mind. Like, I guess he just didn't see it. But when, everyone was like, oh, do you have anything to, like, give? And I said, I'm like, why don't you give your sandals to Salvador, to my brother? And my brother's like, oh, like, what? Why? My brother's just, like, empty-minded, I guess. And then I was like, did you not notice that, like, he didn't have shoes? My brother's like, he didn't have shoes? And I'm like, no. I'm like, the whole time he was working barefoot. Like, maybe, like, he just likes to work like that, or like he left his sandals somewhere or his shoes somewhere. But like, I was like, he was barefoot. Like, your friend was barefoot. And so like that, like the last day, like my brother kept like looking for him, and he was asking everyone like, oh, where's Salvador, where's Salvador? We couldn't find him. But I'm gonna add into this video the clip where we were giving our like hand-me-downs, let's call them, our hand-me-downs to one of the young girls that worked there. She's a young mother of 3 kids. So, just know that when you guys go to Cuba, people are grateful. So if you have anything that you want to give, feel free to take it with you. I didn't take things this time. I have on the other time, like other trips that I've taken. And you can make a lot of good friends, like with the food situation. Like, our waiters, it was a husband and wife, like, amazing. They took care of us the whole time. Like, we would always make sure to go and sit in their section. And maybe they're not supposed to do this, maybe I'm, revealing too much, exposing them, but they did bring us some um frijoles. They brought us potaje, they call it. So they brought us some frijoles, which we were like, we need Latino food, or authentic, like, Cuban food. But so they brought us some frijoles, beans, the way that they prepare it. And yeah, that's basically my story time on this trip to Cuba. So Playa Santa Maria. Oh, and that's my cue to go. So make sure that you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.